Before we get started, I want to go over safety and how to properly warm up to get into a handstand. We'll start with wrist rolls to warm up our wrist and make sure those tendons are nice and loose. Clasping your hands together, roll your wrist for 30 seconds. Then go the other direction for 30 more seconds. Next, do each hand individually, making sure to switch directions as well. Once you're done, you can place your hands flat on the floor and start to pulse like this. It will allow you to keep your tendons warm and loose so that you won't get hurt during the handstand. Make sure to switch your hands into different directions. Here I'm going side to side to help as well. Next, we're getting into our fingertip push-ups. Make sure that you're pushing your fingers down into the ground, moving your body up. To end off, roll your wrist out again one more time. Next, we're going to go over how to properly bail. Bailing is super important because it's how you're going to get out of your handstand in case you fall or slip. Getting down onto all fours, choose a side that you want to jump to. Then, from there, do a small hop, keeping your hands on the ground. Practice going to the same side. Try to focus on getting your feet under you. When you feel comfortable, you can go higher and higher in your jumps. Eventually, you'll be kicking up into what feels like a weird cartwheel. Once you practice controlling and slowing your fall, it's on to the next step. After you feel comfortable bailing, the next step is to learn how to properly kick up into a handstand. Place your hand about a hand length away from the wall so that you're not too close. Make sure your arms are at shoulder width. Try not to go too wide or too narrow. One of your legs will be your swinging leg and will stay straight the whole time. The leg on the ground is your spring leg. That is what you're going to use to push up into the wall. Once on the wall, try to keep your feet as the only point of contact. Keep your spring leg closer to your hands and let your swing leg pull you into the wall. After learning how to kick up against the wall into a handstand, the next step is learning how to balance. Now, what's super important to remember is we're balancing the exact same way as we would if we're standing. So when you stand and your body shifts forwards, your toes are pushing down into the ground to counterbalance you to come this way. Now, the exact same thing, if we move back, your toes can't push into the ground, so your knees have to move forward to go back. This is the same thing with our shoulders, elbows, and wrists. Our fingers are going to be pushing down into the ground, and our shoulders are going to be the point where we're bending to compensate if we fall or not. To help with balance, practice putting one foot off the wall at a time. In the transition period between the foot contacting the wall, practice using your fingers to push down into the floor to help you balance. As you get the hang of it, you can slightly touch the wall to help balance and focus on keeping your feet off. Finally, you should be ready to kick into a handstand. One way to practice control is by walking backwards and forwards, or even doing slight turns. You can also practice balancing with your legs in different positions. Try experimenting what works for you best, as everyone is different and enjoys different things. Alright, I hope that helped. Let me know if there's anything that I missed in the comments below. And let me know also if there's any tutorials that you would like me to make for calisthenics moves moving forward. Stay ripped.